Hi, today I'm going to show you how to make an interactive multimedia presentation. You could even call it an ebook with Google Slides. Most of the time with Google Slides, you put your presentation together and it's very linear. It goes in one direction. Well, sometimes we want to jump directly to the Han Solo character. I'm going to show you how you can make Google Slides require you to be interactive and you can't click to go to the next slide. So the first thing we need to do, I already put together my slides that I want to have in my presentation. On each slide, I'm going to need to put a box over the entire slide. And see, I go outside of the lines just a little bit. And my next part is I need to make the fill transparent. I'm not going to make the outer line transparent because I want to be able to see it. So now I have this box around on top of my background. What we're going to do is use that box as a blocking so we can't click on the background to go to the next slide. It will also cause you not to be able to click on the words here to go to the next slide. But to do that, after we draw the box, we have to set the link for it. And I can't find where I set the link. I usually use the key sequence, so I have to have it selected before I can do the link, and then the link shows up. First step, click on the box that you want to add the link to. So I'm going to insert a link here. Now down at the bottom, it pops up where I want. When I click on this box, it wants me to do a destination. I'm setting my destination as a hashtag. Why? Because I know that will go nowhere. So once I have that set, if I go to do my presentation, I can no longer click and go. I'm clicking right now, and it will not go to the next slide. Now I do have these controls down here, and the arrow key still works, so it doesn't really lock the user into having to follow the interaction, but it does a pretty good job of it. But I can't go to the next slide. I'm going to copy that and paste it on top of each one of my other slides. So now each slide, I cannot click to go to the next slide. Now we want to make our links to go to the next slide. So I'm going to, you can do this a couple ways. You can use the shapes. And here, where I do the link, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I set up my button. Isn't that a nice looking button? And I want that button to go somewhere. So I use the link, and I can link right next to, and it's slide 2 that I want to link to. Now when I present, I can't click anywhere, but if I click on Luke Skywalker, it goes to the Luke Skywalker page. Now, there's no way for me to get back. So I also need to add a back button or a home button onto this slide, onto each one of the slides. So let's do that right now. If you don't know, this is Luke Skywalker's home. And we're going to use that as our home button. Isn't that clever? So I add the home button, and I'm going to click on the link, and I want to go to the very first slide. Now that I have that home button how I want it, I'm going to copy it and paste it on each one of my other destination slides because I'm going to need it on those, and I might as well do all that at the same time. So now let's go to the first page. I can't click anywhere, but I can click on Luke Skywalker, and it goes to Luke Skywalker's home. I mean, the page for Luke Skywalker. I can read a little bit of information about it. Notice I can't click anywhere, but if I click on the home, it takes us back to the main page. Now I can add other buttons for each one for Princess Leia and Han Solo, but we're going to make it look a little bit better. I'm going to insert a little icons for each one of those. And there's Mr. Skywalker. Size it better. So all I did was insert a graphic that I had, and I'll make the link go to he is slide 2. And then I will upload an icon for Princess Leia. Make her a little, size her up so she fits in there with Luke. Change her link to slide 3. And finally, get Han Solo. Oops. You know, somebody using this presentation might not quite notice that these are clickable. So you might need to, because they kind of blend into the background, so you might need to do something else to make them stand out a little bit more. But now I have each one of these goes to a different slide. Slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4, slide 4, and each slide has a home button. So when I do the presentation, there they all are. I can click on Princess Leia, it goes to Princess Leia's page. I can click home and it goes back, Han Solo. And as I click on anywhere on the slide, it doesn't go anywhere unless I click on the home. And finally, to share it with everybody, you'd want to publish it to the web. Well, you could publish it to the web. You can also just share it with them the normal way as you normally share things. There's a couple of different ways. I was going to publish it to the web, and then I realized if you shared it with your students, they can use any device to view it. Like if they have an iPad or an iPhone or an Android, as long as they have the Google Slides app, they'll be able to hit the present and get this exact same thing on their handheld device or their Chromebook so it makes it really nice to do multimedia, which this looks a lot better than just going linear through the slide. And it makes it a little more exciting for the presentation. The key to it is this right here, the box I covered on each one covers up everything on the page so they don't activate the link to go to the next slide. I hope this is useful. Have a good day.